Good evening. If I could call us to order. I'm Norman Williams. I chair the Board of Trustees at Chicago Theological Seminary, and among the many things I do call meetings to order on a regular basis, so thank you for. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, welcome to Chicago Theological Seminary. As you've already been told, for over 160 years, we have educated future leaders for a multitude of ministries. Since our beginning, this seminary has pushed at the growing boundaries of theological reflection. Our student body represents dozens of different faith traditions, perspectives, and denominations. We greet the many faculty, staff, and students from all centers of higher learning present tonight. We welcome our guests, those who are returning to CTS as alumni, as well as friends. And we greet those who are just beginning theological education. For this very special event, we would like to especially thank Reza Aslan, a dedicated CTS trustee, and we want to thank CNN for this incredible opportunity to be the first to advance this screening of Believer, and the only screening in Chicago. Finally, I'd like to thank the fellow members of our host committee. I'd like you to stand and be recognized with our deepest gratitude. All members of the host committee. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is seldom that we also get to recognize how many trustees are present. So I would like to ask trustees, present, past, life trustees, all to stand. Let us see where you are. All trustees. These are the people who are accustomed to being asked a very special question, and that is, why do you give your time, your money, and your attention to CTS? Since 1855, we have remained independent and a freestanding center for higher education, free of university support. With that in mind, I would ask that you think about helping us do this work, this very important work that we do. I'd like to welcome to this podium our Dean of the Faculty, Dean of our Academics, Dean Stone, who will introduce Reza Aslan.
Good evening. We're very excited about tonight's event, which fits into a long tradition of interreligious engagement at Chicago Theological Seminary, going back at least as far as our first Center for Jewish Christian Studies, founded in 1967 by Emeritus Professor Dr. Andre Lecoq. The center later became, and is still, our Center for Jewish Christian Islamic Studies. In 2009, Dr. Rachel Mikva, who I believe is here tonight, could you stand? Dr. Mikva was hired for our Rabbi Herman Shaman Chair in Jewish Studies. In 2014, with assistance from a grant from the Henry Luce Foundation, we launched our Eco-Community Project in interreligious engagement, which is a project that has received a lot of praise from one of our accreditors, the Higher Learning Commission, for its innovative contribution to our work and the work of theological education. And that same year, we also hired Dr. Rami Nashashibi, who I saw here earlier. Rami was visiting assistant professor of sociology of religion and Muslim studies and an important part of our Eco-Community Project. More recently, another grant from the Henry Luce Foundation has just allowed us to launch our new Interreligious Institute at Chicago Theological Seminary. We've hired a new project director, Reverend Lisa Seiwert. We're very excited about this, and I encourage you to watch for news about this exciting new initiative. If you're here, you will be on our list for communication about this. So look forward to that. Before I introduce Reza Aslan, I need to note that in the event of an emergency, please proceed to our nearest exits to the east. Facilities assistants will direct you where to go. There are stairwells at the north and south end of the hall out here, as well as the stairwell that most of you came up on. Please do not use the elevators in the event of emergency, only stairs. I do want to introduce Dr. Reza Aslan, who will be speaking to us in just a moment. Reza is the author of multiple books, including Zealot, The Life and Times of Jesus of Nazareth, No God But God, The Origins, Evolution, and Future of Islam, which I have just been reading with great pleasure, and Beyond Fundamentalism, Confronting Religious Extremism in the Age of Globalization. Reza holds a PhD from the University of California, Santa Barbara, an MTS from Harvard Divinity School, and an MFA from the University of Iowa's Writers' Workshop. He is, as most of you know, a visible presence in the media, whether television, print, or social media, or today, radio. My partner and I much enjoyed his interview today on our local NPR station, and a passionate voice in the public square for religious scholarship and interreligious engagement. He's also a producer for television and film and heads his own media company. We are here tonight because of his original series with CNN, Believer, and he'll be telling us more about that series in just a moment. After the screening, Dr. Aslan has agreed to engage us in dialogue, first with one of our faculty members. Dr. Stephanie Buchanan Crowder is our assistant professor of theological field education and New Testament. Dr. Crowder completed her MDiv at Howard Divinity School and her PhD at Vanderbilt University. She is most recently the author of When Mama Speaks, The Bible and Motherhood from a Womanist Perspective. She is, like Dr. Aslan, a visible presence in social media, so we look forward to her engagement. I do want to note that you have cards on your chairs in case you want to write a question for Dr. Aslan. Someone will be taking up those questions, and depending on the time, an important qualification, Dr. Crowder will be able to ask some of your questions. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Reza Aslan. Thank you so much.
You know what? Let me just use this real quick. Sorry, I don't want to turn mine. Thank you, everyone. I'm just going to keep it very short because I'm going to have plenty to say after the screening, whether you like it or not. And I just want to say it's a great honor to be here. Thank you all for coming out. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that it launches us into a nice conversation.